Hey guys, this is episode number 2 of, I think I've decided to call it Inspirational Nurse or The Inspirational Nurse because that's what I know to talk about, and that's so much a part of who I am. And I also made a website today called inspirationalnurse.com, so therefore kind of stuck with it. So I wanted to do a short video and talk about how you start even thinking about a vision for your life. Some people might say, I don't know, I don't really have any dreams. I don't know, I don't picture myself doing anything. I had a friend that said that to me in my early 20s, and that just, it blew my mind. But I think a lot of people are that way. They just kind of coasted through life, and if that's you, you do have dreams. They're down in there. And what I want you to do is think about when you were younger, when there was no limit, when you told your mom when you were 5. For me, it was, I think I want to be an artist. I think I want to be a veterinarian because I loved doing art and I loved animals. They used to call me Elmira, if you remember that from Looney Tunes. I'm aging myself. Well, I've told you I'm turning 30 now in 2 days. Because any animal I would just go after and squeeze it. Like I didn't hurt them. I just love animals. So I think we let those dreams die. As you get older, you realize maybe other people are better at certain things than you, and let me just settle down and have a normal dream for my life, which is why I always prided myself on the fact that I wanted to be a theater major, and I truly envisioned myself in the movies, and that was going to be my platform. I told myself, and I made sure I told God, all right, God, this is the deal. I'm going to get really famous and be in the movies, and that's how I will spread the gospel and talk about God's love. And he was like, no, which is great because he had a different plan in mind. And I'm really glad that I got into nursing because it's so incredibly rewarding. And the theater aspect, hold me to it. I do want to get back into it because I just love it. I love being silly and playing other roles and just being, I love it. But I did sign up for an improv class, Philly Improv, but then I got engaged and we planned our wedding in 7 months, so then I didn't do it. So that's not an excuse, but I'm kind of hoping, praying, and thinking that God will end up using it in my life in missions and medical missions, because even though you don't speak the same language as other people, it can be very, very powerful when you act stuff out. And at camp, Christian camp, away camp, I would always be part of the skits, and it's just very, very powerful when you pull, when you kind of see in front of you a picture of what God sacrificed for us by sending his son to die for our sins, and having it acted out, or some other type of skit that is to point out something really profound. And theater is, I think, a great way to communicate to everyone. Everyone watches TV, everyone watches movies, and that's a way to communicate a message. But anyway, he did not have me go there. He had me go into nursing. And I just want you to think about your childhood, what you thought you might be. Now, I am not an artist, I'm not a veterinarian, but there are parts of that that I can incorporate into my life. And I've realized that it doesn't have to be all or nothing. So, doing my vision boards, or I like to make people birthday cards instead of buying them. And that's my little art fix. Or I do have some canvases and I've painted here and there. And it's very therapeutic, and it's very just good to develop all aspects of yourself. It doesn't have to mean that I'm an artist. Like my cousin Brad Carney, shout out, he does the Philadelphia Mural Arts program, and he literally went to Tyler School of Art, and he is an artist. That's all he does is paint and teach painting and paints these huge, amazing murals in Philly. But you can be an artist in your own way. Veterinarian. I didn't end up being that, but we had dogs all growing up, and we would take care of other people's dogs. I dog sat. Oh, right now my husband didn't grow up with dogs, so he doesn't realize the amazing relationship between dogs and people, but we have compromised, and we will get one in a few years. But that's kind of how my compassion for animals is kind of how my ex-boyfriend, like I said, saw that, and that was the way that he was like, you're so compassionate, empathetic, and, like babies, animals, like really connect with you. I think you could do nursing. So volunteering at an animal shelter, dog sitting, that's a way I don't have to go to veterinarian school unless that would, be where God would be calling you to or calling me to. So what I want you to do is from the very tiniest thing to the biggest thing. God gave us our imaginations for a purpose. Albert Einstein talked about the power of the imagination all the time. And as we grow older, I think it's suppressed. When you're a little kid, if you watch little kids, they're so imaginative and they believe that anything's possible, and they just create these crazy things with Legos and get so into playing and really believing the story that they're in. And that gets suppressed a little bit in school, but imagination and the mind is the most powerful thing that we have. And so I want you to imagine from the bedroom that you sleep in, to the house that you live in, to the kind of car that you want to drive, to what you see yourself doing right now if you could have things ideally the way they were, like the way you think that they should be. And not for selfish reasons, because I don't think that it's not a motivating enough factor to get you to where you need to be. So create a vision for your life by kind of thinking back. What did I really want to do when I was younger? What did I get lost in time doing? When the time goes by, I don't even realize it because I'm just enjoying. My mom always would say, "You're dawdling," and I would be writing and weird, like talking in like accents by myself in my room. And so I distinctly remember sitting on my windowsill. I was in 6th or 7th grade, and that was a really hard time for me. And my grandparents were really just great people, and they had given me this poem about the name Jeanette. And I was sitting on my windowsill, and I was sad about the things I was going through at the time, and I knew at that moment, it was like I heard God's voice in a way, like very distinctly, as I was journaling there. Um, I want to write books and inspire and help other girls get through the things I've gotten through, because this is really hard and this is really scary, and it would make me feel a lot better if I could use my pain to help other people. And I just had an epiphany, and I think I wrote it down. And I'm sure I've thrown it out since then, but I said, God, I want to speak to millions of women one day at a conference. God, I want to write Christian inspirational books someday. And I was like 11, maybe 12, 13. And I didn't really tell anybody that, because that seems like, oh, who do you think you are? And that's just been a dream brewing in my heart. And I thought it was going to be through theater, something that I naturally was good at. And God had a different plan. But those things that maybe you had a similar thing to me, where you just knew in your heart that you were going to do something, and you were going to, by such and such age, you were going to have accomplished this or that. And if you're not at that place, don't despair, because it is never too late to start. And I just want you to literally imagine, if you could be doing anything in the world, where would you be? What would it look like? Who would you be with? What degree would you have? What hobbies would you be pursuing? How would your time be spent every day if you could live your ideal life while contributing to others' lives? Because I can tell you, yes, we all may say, well, I'd like to be sitting on a beach in Tahiti and, drinking a cocktail. But God wired us to be so, how good it feels to give a gift and the other person is appreciative, even if they're not. It just feels good to give. I love giving gifts, and I know that's a universal thing. People love to give gifts. They can't even wait to give them sometimes, and give them early, or they give it away. So when you get to use the talents that are unique to you as a gift and to add value and to help other people, you will feel so fulfilled, and you will feel on fire and energized. And that's what you have to start to do, is start to get a vision for your life. And I will tell you that that's the place that you need to begin. And it's hard, it's soul searching, and it's kind of annoying, because you're like, what do I want? And sometimes we want to avoid thinking about those things, because we've realized we're at a place in our life where, shoot, I told myself I was going to have completed this or that by this age, or I thought I was going to be married and have kids by this age. I thought I would have paid off my debt by this age, and you aren't, and we aren't. And so we rather just go through the daily grind and live a mediocre life, and not think about the dreams that we have, and not think about the fact that we're not pursuing them and we're not living to our highest potential. But you can only do that for so long, and you're depriving the world of the gifts that you have. Like I said last night, there's only one and only you, and only you can do the things that you can do the way you can do them. There's millions of nurses, but I'm very different I'm very different than every other nurse, and so is every other nurse. There's so much abundance in the world. Don't think that it's too late. There's so many stories like Thomas Edison and Ben Franklin. All these things that they discovered and did were in their 60s and 70s. So it is not too late. If you want to start something, to pursue something, figure out what it is, have some alone time, journal, write it down. Envision your bedroom. Like, if you could have, what would your bedroom look like? What would your house look like? What would your work situation look like? Envision that first. Take some time to do that, and then we can talk about the steps, the very practical, very doable steps to get yourself there, and how to stay motivated even though things are going to take time and you're going to get discouraged and you're going to want to give up. But I'll show you how to get in a state of mind, what to surround yourself with, what to do to stay encouraged every single day so that you will achieve those dreams. But the first thing is create a vision for your life. Ask your friends, what is it that you really like about me? Ask your family, what is it that you really appreciate about me, or what kind of qualities do you see in me? And maybe there's things that you didn't see. And if you're in a job or in a place where you're not feeling fulfilled, that's something else we can talk about. How you can bring yourself to that job, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. It's a quote by Oprah Winfrey. And we know Oprah knows what she's doing because she's like the richest woman in the world. So that's the assignment for today. Think about what vision you want to have for your life. And really, really soul search. It's hard and it's painful because I didn't want to do this soul searching because I had wanted to write books already. I had wanted to start a blog already. I wanted to start a YouTube channel already. I want to have a nonprofit for medical missions already. I want to be finished my master's already. I want to have my debt paid off. All these things I do want already. But if I keep thinking like that, I'll avoid them and I won't go after them because it's painful. But you got to push through the pain, and once you see some progress or promise of progress even, you'll stay motivated, and we can talk about all the things that we can do to stay motivated to pursue our dreams. Thank you so much for watching. I'm hoping and praying I'm going to get some new equipment in the future because the glare, I'm doing this on my MacBook, but that's okay. I didn't want to have any excuses of why I wasn't going to start to do what I think God's calling me to do and add value to your life. I hope you're inspired. I hope you just take some time, even 5-10 minutes before you go to bed right now. Just think about what vision that you want to have for your life. And just as a side note, this shirt says, "Life is short, work less, travel more." What is it? Enjoy yourself. This is a shirt that I wore on my way to Brazil to go on a boat, not knowing anyone, along the Amazon River in 2014, May of 2014, when I first met everyone. And it's a shirt I wore a lot on the trip. And I'm wearing it as a speaking point, but just to remind myself, because that's something I want to be doing more, is traveling more. And that's something I want to work on, and we can talk about that, and you can keep me accountable in that regard. But I had a vision. My mom was like, you know what? I had gone through my hard breakup. I had stopped drinking in 2013. I was looking for a good Christian man. I was feeling discouraged. And she's like, you know what? I really think that you should go on a mission trip. I think you should. So we started praying about it, and I started looking. And I was like, how am I going to do this? I found a website or organization called FAME, Faith and Medical Evangelism. And they set up missions. They're kind of the hub. They have contact with missionaries all over the world, And selfishly, I wanted to go before Memorial Day because that's when the shore started. Because I had a shore house every summer down in Avalon or Sea Isle or Stone Harbor. And so I saw that trip, and it was 2 weeks, and it seemed awesome along the Amazon, and I had to raise thousands of dollars. But my mom gave me that, like, spoke into my life, gave me that vision, and I remember buying this shirt on, oh geez, I forget the name of the website. So I try not to go on it anymore because I've curbed my spending. But I got this as a reminder of, like, I'm going to go, I'm going to do this. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm envisioning myself doing it, and I got the support from people and raised the money, and I was a changed woman and still am. So, thank you. I talked too long again, but more content to come. Whoa, sorry. More content to come, and I love you guys. I hope you're inspired. Please subscribe, and as I write my first blog post, I'll let you guys know about it. Thank you for the nice comments from last night. I'm feeling affirmed about what I'm doing, and just it's really great to have encouragement from others, and I'm just praying for everybody that even watches a little bit of this that this can be the thing that inspires you to go after your dreams too. All right. Talk to you soon.